I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Don't label us left or right. Our American. Not looking for a war, but we came to fight. Our American. Somebody's gotta stand up. Stand up. Somebody's gotta do what's right. We're rising 'cause we're fed up. Got our house in order and got yours inside.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Super Dave Show. It's Tuesday, January 19th. Oh, I can't wait till winter's over. I can't stand winter. Now I know what happens get older. You can't stand it. Perfect answer, Linda. I got it. You know, the show is, will censorship be the new normal? What are you going to do about it? And I love what she said about this. And she said, first she said, same thing we always do, bitch. And then she said, even stupider is the fact that all our sons, daughters, dads, and moms are in D.C. to protect what we don't want. You know, it's really sad to see what's going on right now. How about talking about this? Kill the bill. Which one is it? Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. Let me see what it is. Kill the bill. SB 1. Yeah, that's in Missouri. Yeah. Well, you know, it's really sad when we elect Republicans. All the more reason for what we're trying to do with real Republicans is we elect Republicans, and this is the bull crap we get. SB 1, that was pulled during the special sessions back this time. The bill has two sponsors in the Missouri General Assembly. The bills are nearly identical, with the bill always being fractured in portions being tucked into smaller bills. That's what happens. The powers that be want this bill passed. There's no stoppage, you know, and you know what? My own state representative is the Speaker of the House, and he's supposed to be conservative. So much for that. Yeah, they run around and they say, hey, I'm a conservative. So that's what happens. I'm dead serious. That's what happens. Whoops. Now, wait a minute. Now, why is that not showing? Wait a minute. I guess you guys can see it. I got to click it. That's why. Find out who the hell I am. Anyway, it's really frustrating to watch this. And for me, seriously, I get tired of having to fight our own people, don't you? And the best way to fix that is get rid of the damn clowns. Yes, I'm a conservative. I got an R next to my name. Right. That's what happens. You know, and I tell people, you know, and I hear these people say, well, let's sue them. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I get it. But you know the best way to fix it? Stop electing these clowns. They got an R next to their name. They must be conservative. Oh God, I'll tell you what. I get so frustrated with this because, you know, people just, and I gotta tell you the other people too. There's some listening, but they'll never admit it. They're like, if everything isn't perfect, I'm not gonna vote for him. And I'll give you one. I have some friends that think that Trump was just horrible. And what I kept trying to explain to him is, considering the people we have in Congress and the Senate, exactly as I said, he's very conservative considering. There's only so much you can do. Excuse me. There's only so much you can do when you got the wrong people in the office, as you see with all the people that turn their backs on Trump. But, you know, those are the people I'm telling you, I have so little patience with. If they're not perfect, I'm not going to vote for them. You have to consider everything. All right, just so everybody knows, Both bills are being heard this afternoon at 1:30. We've collected over 200 witness testimony slips in opposition. I'm telling you, folks, it just they do what the hell they want. You know, they're supposed to do what the constituents want, but they do what the hell they want. And it gets tiring. And then what do? I talked about it yesterday. We got that nutcase, Mary Elizabeth Coleman, who some people think is okay. And her looks are she's going to make sure we name part of Highway 55. I mean, that's her concern. And but I want to tell you right now, that's because these people look at the voters being simple-minded. We love Trump, and it is true to some extent. I mean, I have to admit, a lot of what she is doing is right. I mean, it's true. I don't agree with any of it, but it's true because the people just say that, hey, they're going to vote for the Trump highway, the Trump name on the highway, and wow, make me an auditor because I did that. That's how this game works. Get rid of it eventually here. That's what happens. And we just continue to send these clowns there. That's why real Republicans, we're gonna be vetting these people like you wouldn't believe. We have some people already. We already have some, by the way, in case you're wondering, little by little, we have some conservatives, real conservatives. I mean, when I say conservative, look, I don't mean when I say conservative, I mean the kind that's constitutional. In fact, I need to change that word to constitutional. We're not going to get all constitutional right away, but we have to work our way that way. But we have a lot of them are the constitutional, so let me change that. Conservative is a joke. It really is. There's a lot of things conservatives do that are unconstitutional. So I need to change that name to constitutional, because it really is. There's a lot of things that, people don't want. I don't want you to smoke pot, so I'm going to make sure that we pass a law where you can't do that. And I'm not a pot smoker, so don't even go there. But the point is, in the Constitution, it doesn't say anything about you can restrict somebody. We are allowed to do what we do. And it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. So we got to get constitutional here. We really do. But in the meantime, when you got somebody like Trump who is doing his best to be constitutional, you can only do so much because this is what you have. It's exactly what you have. So we have to change some of this, no doubt about it. But it's about getting the right people in there. So anyway, back to what I was saying about real Republicans, we do have a few people there that are already elected, but we need a hell of a lot more, and they will tell you that. I have to give Justin Hill a lot of credit. And some of these clowns, and that's why I call you guys that say, "Oh, but they're not perfect." Go away. Go in your own little cave and keep thinking that everything's got to change tomorrow. We have to do it incrementally. We have to. We can't do it all in one day. So stop it. By the way, if you want to watch, you can watch it. I tried to do it on Gab. I tried to put the show on Gab, and it keeps coming up with something, and it's like, what? I tried to post it, and it comes back with compose, submit, fail. I have no idea what that means. No idea. I really don't know. So right now we're on MeWe, and that's about it. But plus we're on DLive. And it is set up right now. If you go to the website, superdaveshow.com, you click that, and you'll be on DLive. You'll be able to see everything right there. And you'll be able to comment. I know a lot of people do that. In fact, my friend Linda does. Everybody's in Facebook jail. That's the way it is. Gas is going up over $5. We have refugees. Yeah, we built that wall. And I'm going to go back to what Linda said. And we're going to bitch and moan. Hey, Linda, you know what I mean? We're going to bitch and moan. We have, in Missouri, we have an election, and today's the last day to put your name on the ballot. And yesterday, 2 people I know that I have gotten involved had said, I'm going to put my name on the ballot. Yeah, no problems with MeWe, but Gab I couldn't get. So anyway, 2 people, actually 3, make it 3. 3 people, one of them have been working, I talked to one of them yesterday, and she goes, I'm going to run for the school board. And Wendy's going to run for the school board. And then we have a friend, Desiree, she's going to run for ambulance board. Where the hell are the rest of you guys? We got how many people in Real Republicans? And you guys have spent all your time going back and forth trading your stories. That's what we do in the conservative movement, in the Republican movement. Hey, I'm going to send you some cool shit. Sorry, it's frustrating as all get out. When you send me stuff, I get, I have Messenger, and I probably get over 200 messages a day from people that I know do nothing but sit on Messenger and Facebook. That's all they do. They go on Facebook and they go back and forth. That's all they do. Do you know how much we could change our country if you really gave a damn? Now, I know you don't like to hear this, and I really don't care. But do you know how much we can change it? If we all did something, we've got a few people that are running, and it's the same people every damn time. That's the problem. Well, but and it's one of those things the group really is about what are we going to do to be active and not all the cool stuff. And it's not to be mean. It's just that we have to say, what are we going to do? Now, it doesn't mean you have to run for office. It doesn't mean that. What it means is, what are you going to do in this movement to help it? We need a lot of help. There's a lot of places. I talked to one woman yesterday, and she said, well, running for office is my thing. And that's fine. She goes, but I'm willing to stuff envelopes and do other things. She goes, I'm willing to do those things. I've already done it. Do you know how many people don't? I don't have time for that. I'm too busy. I'm too busy right now because I'm on Facebook and every place else trading my stuff around. That's all I'm doing. And that's where we got to say, what can I do? Start asking instead of just waiting, sitting back saying, hey, Dave, let me know when you need something. Yeah, I've got 5,000 people following me on Facebook, and I'm trying to get the other ones going. And now there's another one, Telegram, people are telling me about, and I'm trying to catch up. But the bottom line is that, we have all these different platforms. It doesn't make a difference. You know what? We got one platform called the United States of America. And if we worked hard, and I mean worked hard with the schools and the rest of it, I don't know about you, but I am sick to death of our schools being taught by a bunch of socialist liberals. I'm tired of our kids having to go to school with a mask on their face because it's demanded by the left, because that's exactly what it is. Did you notice, though? Chicago and New York, who obeyed all the rules set by the Democrats and the deep state, all of a sudden they have an urgency to go back to normal. We have to go back to normal. I wonder why. Could it be? Could it be because the election is over? Could that be it? I believe it is, don't you? The election's over. So now we can go ahead and we can go back to normal. Here's the worst part. In Seattle, Portland, and so many other cities, Minneapolis, the cities were trashed. Billions of dollars worth of damage. And the next administration is going to reward every damn one of them with money to rebuild. They go trash their crap. You get to pay for it. And why does that happen? You make it out to real Republicans. That's what you do. You know what? Thank you, Sandy, for saying that. Right now, we're just trying to get our PayPal stuff in. But if you send it, to real Republicans, in fact, I'm going to give you an address I'm going to give you my address right now, okay? And if you want to send checks there for Real Republicans, let's get this started while we get the PayPal stuff. The tax number, see, the problem is with all the goofy stuff that goes on, because we're going to be taxed and all that other stuff, of course, we have to go through all that crap, and we have people that aren't that knowledgeable at it. We're trying to get it done, but in the meantime, I will post. I'm gonna go ahead and post it on there. I don't care. Somebody comes by our house and wants to destroy it, then they're gonna do it anyway. But we have to do something. Well, that's just it. See, everybody says, don't do this, don't do that. You know what? Join them. Help them. Help them do it, because there are certain things we don't know. I mean, look, it's I do what I do. I try to be good at what I do. And that's the whole point of a team. That's the whole point of a team. A team works together. A team doesn't just have 3 or 4 players and that's it. A team says, you know what the team is doing? The team is fighting each other to do something. Here, I'm going to go ahead and post the address on here of where to send it right now, and eventually it's going to change. But at least we can do this. And if you come here for any other reasons, then we probably need to do something else. But we'll do this for right now. Let me finish this for here. If you want to do thank you, Sandy. That was so nice of you to bring up, because you know what? I hate asking for money, but you know what I hate more than anything? I despise. I already did. I'm not worried about it. I'm really not worried about it. Look, I'm a big boy, Nikki. I can handle it. I'm not worried about it. Let them come by. I'll just take my cannon and knock them on their ass. How's that? You take care of yourself. You know what? My mom and dad died a long time ago. I don't need a new one. I am a risk taker beyond most, but I don't really give a damn. I don't care. Everybody runs around. Oh, don't do this, don't do that. I didn't get my Social Security number out, did I? I don't do stuff like that. But if somebody's stupid enough to come here and stare in every damn camera I got around my place, it's like a fortress with the cameras. If somebody's stupid enough to do it, then let them do it. There's no telling what I got out there to knock them on their ass. Look, I am not going to. This is something every damn real Republican has to do. You do what you have to do. Don't tell me what to do, and you have to take. You have to do and not be afraid of everything. I'm not. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Really not. They can come and get me anytime they want. That's it. So anyway, I'm not worried about it. So let's go on. Let's go on with the next bit, because I don't need a mommy and daddy out there. I'm well aware of what I'm doing. Well aware. But the one thing I refuse to do, look, we need to get that. We need to do that. And that's just it. So that's fine. Right now, let's just do it that way and be done with it. Look, I know there's a lot of people watch the show and they're enemies. I really don't care. I really don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me. You know what makes a difference to me? People that go in and say, I want to do something. But, the one thing is that and for those of you that have filled out the, I want people to, I was reading what Sandy said. I can't wait to read it. I want people to do everything they can to contact us. There were some people, I know what I was going to say. There were some people that have contacted us. I apologize for not getting back to you. I am going to get back to everybody shortly. We've been out of town for 2 weeks and just trying to catch up. Now I want to read Sandy's comment. I would like someone to tell me exactly what President Trump has done during his time in office that was so bad. You hear how awful he is, but never give a reason why they say that. You're right. That's a great point, Sandy, because I always ask people, what has he done wrong? Well, he just, and they bring up the most ridiculous stuff. And when you bring up the stuff he's done right, it's a different story. Cully, you're right. I'm not going to live in fear. I am not going to spend that's our problem. We live in fear. And I am not one to, I am, in fact, come on. I mean, really, come on. You know where I am? Come here. If you want to come, do it. I really don't give a damn. If the, you know what, if the, I'm kind of like the leader in this movement to some extent, one of them, one of many. But if I'm going to do this, you better respect me for it. Stop keep telling me things. I'm fine. They didn't cater to them, give them free Trump stuff, and that's just it. We have to, look, all your stimulus checks that you have. A lot of you people, now some people lost their jobs. I get that, all that stuff. You need it. But a lot of you people get this stuff when you get you're getting paid. Some businesses did better because of the things that happened. Not many, but there are some people that, I'll tell you who did the best. Those on disability did really well. Believe me, I got a whole slew of relatives who sit on their butts and don't do a damn thing, and they got all the stimulus checks. And you know what they stimulate? They stimulate the drug industry. They stimulate the alcohol industry. That's what they stimulate. And then they run to the food banks and say, give me more, give me more. That's what we've done. You can't block. Oh, well, join a crowd, Jason. You're blocked on Facebook. That's why we all have to go somewhere else. We have to go somewhere else, and that's what we're doing. Well, on Real Republicans, all you can do is comment and like it. You can't do anything else. But I got to tell you, though, everybody that's on there needs to be saying, what can I do? Dave, what can I do? And we have other people. By the way, we are in the process of setting up our first really big meeting in the St. Louis area, okay? It's going to be in Jefferson County, but please, if you're concerned about another 15, 20-minute drive, get over it. This is going to be big, and we're going to start our first one, and everybody that's in it is involved. going to be there. I want them to be there, for the ones that are close enough. If you live in New York City, obviously not going to. But I've already been asked to speak at a few places, and I'm going to be doing that. I do that because I love my country and I care. But you know what? That's you. Let's not talk about it anymore, okay? If someone uses their real names here in a way or documents, I don't really care. Look, you know what? These days, they're going to find out who you are anyway. They really are. And I can find people all the time. I do it all the time. It doesn't make a difference because somewhere or another, someone has their name out there. Now, a lot of people can't, but when it comes to investigating, I do a pretty damn good job. Besides that, I have a couple sources that are very good at it too. If I want to find out who somebody is, I'll find out. That's not a problem. It really isn't. Somewhere or another, they slip up. Yeah, unless you never give your real name or something like that or whatever. But you know who that is? That's Antifa and the rest of them. But a lot of Antifa do too. And by the way, I want to describe to you how to fight. Now, Republicans, people who support the established Republican Party, you know how they fight? They fight by going on Facebook or Messenger, and they send stuff back and forth. I'm fighting. I'm letting everybody know. Like we don't know, like we're all a bunch of dumbasses. We all know. Fighting means doing it. I'll bring it back. Like I said, if you want to fight, if we have a war, and we are at war, by the way, if we have a war and you don't show up and you're back there and you're saying, well, I'm just gonna send information back and forth. You're not part of it. I don't want you on my team. I want people who are active. I want people who are actually going to do something. All right, I'm not good on the front lines, but I'm good at this. I'm good at this. I'm good at this. What can you do instead of what can I do to avoid it? Yesterday on Facebook, I brought something up, and well, I'm going to make sure I was good, so I got to make sure I read it correctly. But I put something on there, and it's so true. It's so true. Wow, showing that. But it's fun. It's really funny because I play a lot of I do play a lot of games on Facebook on purpose to see who really gives a damn. So yesterday, if I here's what happens. So you guys have been you guys have already been found. I know who you are. But when I put something up yesterday, I said when people say someone needs to do something, what they really mean is someone else needs to do something. That's what it really means. And if you're guilty of saying somebody needs to do something, the first thing you got to do is bring that mirror out and say someone else needs to do something, what you're saying. That's exactly what it is. Now, when I put that down, I had 32 likes and 1 comment. Now, when I go in here and I put other stuff on here that people are sending back and forth, I get all kinds of comments. It's amazing because people just want to talk about it. Yes, we're all about to talk. Look, until I see a big change in the people that are saying they really give a damn, I'm going to give you so much grief you're going to wish you never watched this show. If you really give a damn, then you're going to say, what can I do? That's what you have to do. Because when you, honestly, we have things going on right away in Jefferson, in Missouri. We get that. But there's also a lot going on in other parts of the country. There's also a lot of preparation that's got to go on for next year. Next year is going to be our biggest year. Now, while we have a few, but while so many openings are there that are nobody's going to in the school boards, I don't know how to do it. You know what? I was told this yesterday. I'm really not sure what to do or if I'm qualified, but I'm going to find out. I want to go ahead and run. And she started reading up on it, reading on it. It's like, you know what? You could do just as much as anybody else. What do you think? Some loser liberal teacher, ex-teacher, that this is what happens to school boards, especially. You get these liberal teachers who retire, and then they go back and they run on school boards because that's how they got where they are, and they give themselves raises and all kinds of stuff. That's what they're doing. Americans need to have that talk with the military. We need them right now. Enough to be reversed right now. To return to right. Illegal is illegal. And that's right. But right now, after we were so proud of the fact that the president worked it out with these, now you understand. Now you understand. A lot of these people that were elected in the last election turned their back on the president. Damn near everybody. And what everyone better understand is they turned their back on all of us. They didn't care to begin with. You thought they did. In fact, who was it yesterday? I was talking to somebody yesterday. Oh, I went to a VFW hall last night. Spoke to a bunch of people. And let me tell you, they're really concerned. And we're going to get involved there because, and Jason, you are big on that stuff. I would like everybody within in the St. Louis area, within a certain reasonable distance, to set up to have me go to their place. You know what? You're right. It's not about Trump anymore. That's a great thing. It's about how we lost our way, how we became a bunch of spectators instead of doers. That's what's really become. Because you know what? If Trump's not, Trump wasn't there, we elected. What we did, so many people did, is we said, we'll just elect Trump and he'll take care of everything. All we have to do is sit by. We'll sit by and let Trump do all the work. I voted for him. I did my job. Oh, wow. I'm excited. You voted for him. Good for you. Done. I bought a hat of his. I bought something else. Yes, that's how I supported Trump. Trump needed support with the Congress. Could you tell now? With the Senate, can you tell now? And so when people don't go to the polls, and I can't tell you how many people that don't go to the polls in the primary. Gentleman last night I was talking to, he said, he was talking to somebody, he said, it's about the primary. I said, I preached that on my show. He goes, wow, you do. Nobody ever says that. And I go, I do all the time. Anybody who watches my show knows I always talk about that. It's about the primary. It's not about the general election. By the general election, it's already pretty much figured out because you got the Republicans going to vote Republican, Democrats going to vote. It's done. But if people are too damn lazy to find out who the people running for office are for the primary, really, that's what happens. And then you say, well, I don't know anything about this person. So they haven't come to my house, beat down my door, and said, hey, this is who I am. Then I'm going to vote for the same old witch that we've had for the last 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, whatever. That's who I'm going to vote for. And that's what happens. So in the general election, we get the lesser of two evils every single time. Almost every single time. We can change that. Well, yeah. Look, I want to tell you right now, Jason, I agree with you, but I'm going to go farther with that. If you really don't know what your congressman or senator does, now I want to tell you right now, it's really difficult to understand. I totally get it. We have a lot of people that can do it. And we need to have, this is part of what we can do. Not by internet, not by going on Facebook and say, what did this person do? We need to have people who love to research to find out exactly what every single state representative in the state does, what every single congressman does in our state, and the rest of it. That's what we need to do. Everything, not what they tell you. How many of you people would have voted for somebody if you knew that person you voted for the mail-in voting law? How many people would have done it? Most people didn't even know it. They didn't even know it. Got to get a drink of water here. Yes. Well, see, here's the problem, Charlie. This is why we need to have someone that eventually we're going to need to hire somebody. And this is where the money comes in. We're going to have to hire somebody to run the web, and that's all they do. But we need people to bring that information to them and give that to them and show, and they can figure out how to do it, because I sure as hell don't. I'm just getting it started. And what a lot of people do, I mean, this is what bothers me. How come you haven't done this? How come you haven't done that? Let me see. Your name is so-and-so. The only time I notice you is on Facebook when you're sending stuff to everybody. It's really funny how you do that. That's what happens all the time. I see the same people sending stuff around all the time. You know, Charlie, if you would, okay, here's something else too. If you would, I want people who have really good links, and I started it. Really good links that we can put on a separate page or something like that, kind of like what Drudge, the dreaded Drudge does now, and I think a couple of them do it. But links of places that you can find reliable information when they do stuff. I like PJ Media too. PJ Media does a lot. There's other ones that really do some investigations. And some of us have that. But we don't know. You're certainly not going to get at yahoo.com or Drudge Report. And so those are the things we need. We need help from everybody. But, eventually we're going to, it's going to cost money. And if you're not willing to be part of that, look, not everybody's going to have money. But if you're making an excuse not to do what you can, I totally understand some people, but if you're making an excuse to say, well, I'm not going to do that, then that's fine. Then what you need to do is look at your state rep or your congressman and see who really is supporting that person. Because let me tell you right now, the people we support are going to support us. If they want to support a lobbyist, they're going to be gone. Unless the lobbyist is like NRA or something like that, whatever. It just all depends who they are. Because not all lobbyists are bad. My friend Gary Wiegert was a lobbyist for a while. And he's an ex-cop, and he's really good, and he cares about it, what's going on. But we really need to change that stuff. That's the whole point. So, if you have stuff, send it our way. But, if you are, and as time goes on, like I said, we're going to have to hire somebody full-time to do this because, honestly, it's so important to have the most awesome. I think we can have one of the most awesome websites out there with more information than anybody has. But, things aren't free. Right now, it's going to be free stuff. People that do it, they're going to do it for now until we finally start getting a lot of members and a lot of money. But, the best way, honestly, so it doesn't hurt people, is when we finally set up the system that you say, hey, 10, 20, 30, whatever it is you think is worth it. I know what I'm doing. And I won't feel one bit bad about it because I know I'm supporting my freedom. I mean, if your freedom isn't worth it, then, go away. Become a Democrat. I got grief yesterday, and I really don't care because I don't want to back down on it. Unless you are seriously having issues, take the damn mask off. Last night, when we were at the VFW hall, great place to go. Damn near everybody was older than me. I loved it. Anyway, I'm in there, and I think I saw 2 people out, maybe 100 in there that had masks on, and they were much older. There's germaphobes out there, whatever. You know what? If somebody wants to wear, but if you're wearing it because you buy that crap that you're protecting someone else, if they're willing to come out, if somebody's concerned about their health and they're coming out, it's their responsibility to protect their own health. It's not mine. It really isn't. In fact, if how your friends sometimes may have the flu or something like that, which doesn't exist anymore. If you have the flu, some people say, well, I'm not going to get near you. In fact, most people say, you don't want to get near me right now. You don't. Let's not beat the crap out of us working people. It's not our fault. Every single filthy rich guy needs to contact every other powerful rich guy, artist, whatever, okay? We start with backing the truck up and arresting but you can't do that unless you're in charge. You can't do that. And you know something, Linda? I'm beating us up because most of us have given away our freedoms. You put a mask on. I don't want to be confronted. You're giving away your freedoms. I will beat people up because, you know what? I'm not doing anything to somebody else I don't do to myself every day. I beat myself and said, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Because I'm willing to work overtime because I'm watching our country fall into communism. But I'm watching so many people whose priorities, it's about priorities. It really is. If buying the latest and greatest car is the most important thing to you than your freedom, I'm sorry. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Because my freedom, I guess I'm weird. My freedom means everything to me. You know what really makes, well, no, it's not well, you're right. It's way past the mask. You're right. However, it's a simple thing. Take it off. Because I'm telling you what, we have talked a few people into it who don't want to be confronted. And they feel free again. When I walk into a store, and this is what I said about Trump. Trump, people say, well, why didn't Trump do this? Why didn't Trump do that? First of all, we get back to the old thing. Why didn't somebody else do something? I'll go back to what I said. Why didn't you do something? Trump is watching Republicans run around with a mask on. He's like, wow, this is tough. If he says anything about the mask and what it is, because I don't believe he believes in them anyway, it's a tough political decision for him. It really is. So it is about the mask. It's about, if you can't even take a mask off, if you can't even be concerned about freedom, about confrontation. Like I said, we just got back from Florida. We went to these hotels and everything. Only one place said, "Oh no, you can't come in without a mask on." And I said, "It's all right. We're out of here. You don't want our money." Linda, I don't even worry about that stuff. Let me tell you, I think it's over the top. I really do. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I don't even care. You know what I do? When I go to the gym, doesn't look like lately I haven't, but anyway, when I go to the gym, they got two containers. One of pens that have been wiped and one of dirty pens that people have touched. You want to know how much of a clown I am? I go in there and grab the one that other people have touched. I love my immunity system. I do. And if I get a little bit of it, good. It goes in my body and says, hey, this isn't the best thing you should have right now. Let's fight it off. That's what your body is designed to do. I'm actually to believe that if you go out there and you clean everything so perfect that when something comes up to you, you don't have the bacteria to begin with, then you can't defend it. So, we're just have to disagree on that one. I do. Why aren't we living life like normal? It was a very good friend of mine said, take the mask off, put the tables back together, go back to what you used to do. And he's a physician. Don't listen to him. Let's listen to the liberals that tell us this. Let's listen to the liberals who want to take down our president and us. I'm sorry. If I have somebody that I don't respect, somebody that I know is out to get me, why in the world would I spend 1 second of my time? Why for 1 second of my time? Would I want to believe anything that comes their way? I don't care. I really don't care. I am not here to serve them. And don't you love it? I remember watching some of the shows. And I don't watch them every day. Believe me, I don't watch them every Sunday and like that. In fact, lately I've had shows on Sunday to counter those shows. But I love it when they sit around with their focus group and they were telling Trump what he needs to do to be successful. First off, they have no credibility. Second of all, does anyone really believe that any person on those focus groups are there to help the president be successful? I don't listen to the opposition. I watch the opposition. That's what I do. You're right. There are all kinds of cures for COVID. And I want somebody to answer this. What is the best cure for COVID? Let's see who gets it. Dun, 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 dun. What is the best cure for COVID? I want to see who answers that. I'll give you, let me see, it's 7:43. I'll give you till 7:46. Let's see what you come up with. What is the best cure for COVID? I want to see what I believe the best cure is. And when somebody gets it right, I'll say so. All right. People are looking, they're going into Google going, what's the best cure for COVID? I'll tell you what isn't. A Democrat. Yeah. I'll tell you what isn't. A mask. Yes, let's put a mask on. No. Oh, hey, maybe it is. Maybe somebody's going to use that as the answer. Germaphobes. Well, look, I know some people are germaphobes. That's fine. I'm not a germaphobe. I welcome germs. I ate dirt. Your own immune system. That's what you meant, right, Charlie? Your own immune system. You know what? Exactly. If you stay healthy, if you eat the right foods, and you don't have to eat the right foods or take the right supplements or whatever, when the COVID comes to you and your immune system's just out of here. Well, but all those things, the whole point is sunlight's important. But if you eat garbage all the time, and we're all guilty of it, I'm not saying we don't, but I know so many people, they eat, I mean, you know what? We got back for 2 weeks, week and a half, whatever it was. Made me sick to my stomach. It's made me sick to my stomach because all the fried crap and all the stuff you have to eat. I mean, really, it's, when you're traveling, you don't sit there and have a great meal every time. You just don't. All right, I'm getting grief here. For Pete's sake, can't you see that the mask is number 1 billion that has been done to us? We have to organize to include our military family members and go back to fix the wrong. That's fine. So we want somebody else to do it? I'm giving you grief here, Linda, because I am not going to look for somebody else to fix what our problem is. I've already identified the problem. During the Trump administration, we continued to elect the same people. New people get there. They don't get elected because the voters said, I don't know who that is. Look, I was campaign manager for the best candidate for governor of Missouri. I was definitely the best campaign manager. And wait a minute. I'm sorry. I wasn't a great. I did my best. It's not my bailiwick, but I did my best. But no matter what, didn't make a difference because if we can get people to stop being lazy when it comes to who they vote for and say it doesn't mean anything, if you're someone that says they're all crooks, you're the problem. Because the reason they're all crooks is because you're not getting involved. You have no idea who's voting. I mean, are most of them? Yeah, but guess what? You're the one that's checking the box. We say move the lever. You're the one checking the box. And if you're the one checking the box, then guess what? You're the problem. Because in the last election, we had some decent, well, not many, but you know what? A lot of people just say, I can't beat Ann Wagner. She's got more money. Why would she have more money? Well, she's got all these companies that pay her way. And I could tell you right now, when I was campaign manager for Dr. Neely, it was horrible how many people wanted him to be governor. There were a lot, and how little money came in. Yeah. I mean, it was embarrassing. And after all that stuff and watching all the other campaigns, that's why I said, never again will I do this. Explain why we can't do what they have done. I'm not really sure what you mean. Sorry. I try to explain everything as it is, but I'm going to fail or I'm not going to connect sometimes. So you'll have to give me a better idea what you're saying here. Explain why they can't do what they have done. We're not violent. I know you did. I know you did, but Linda, am I right? Not Linda Hickey, somebody else. Am I right? You and I know that most people, and this is our problem. This is why I will tell you right now, when we finally get the PayPal stuff and all that together, honestly, and a lot of people are going to like this. How dare you guilt me into it? I'm going to guilt you into it. I'm going to say, if your freedom means something, then at least send $10-20 a month to the real Republicans. Because our goal, and if you don't trust me, then I'm not your guy. But the point is that I don't get a damn thing out of this. I don't get a thing out of this show. I gave a lot more money that I really should have in it. But the whole point is, the whole point of our point is that they did it, but we can't. We can do it, but we can't do the same thing. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That's the definition. You know, whenever there was some ship in the ocean, I can't remember what it was, and this is back when 60 Minutes was better, and there was this company and this guy that went out, and they said they went out look for this ship. It had been done like 5 previous times, and they had all the latest equipment, all that stuff, and they found it the first day, and they said, well, how did you do that? And you know what he said? We saw what they did every time. But it didn't make sense to us. If they didn't find it there, why are they looking there? So they went to another area, and they found it like within a day or two, something like that. It was pretty quickly. And they got all this gold and all the rest of it that was on the ship and all that stuff. But they did that. You're right. If you could buy a coffee drink or whatever, you know what? I'm going to go a step farther with that, Linda. Maybe I better call you something else. The left is doing the same over and over. Well, it is. Well, no. You know what they're doing? The left isn't doing it. Actually, they've improved. Look, you may not like the left. I don't like the left, but you know what I do admire? They get the job done. They do. And you know what? They actually have people like me on their side that are pounding them, say, if you really want this stuff, you got to get off your ass and do something. They do that. On our side, it's like, oh my God, that's not fair. You are being mean, Dave. Oh, well, I'm a mean guy. What can I say? You know, even when I said we need to go, well, okay, even when I said that we need to go, like in Jefferson County, we need to go to these people's houses and we need to protest. Oh, no, we can't do that. The left does it. And let me tell you something. I'm going to teach people everything. I mean, a lot of things that I do right now that does work. Because I can't give everything away. But I want to teach people this. If you are an elected official, and this is why the left does what they do. If you're an elected official and you have a lot of people coming to see you personally, whatever, you get intimidated a lot. You don't like that. Now, a lot of people on our side would say, well, that's not very nice. Well, you know what? When they are stealing elections, oh, wait a minute, they're going to take me off Facebook now. But when they are doing those things, we need to be doing something in return to let them know that they're never going to live another day because of what they did. We need to intimidate the royal hell out of them. This is a war. You don't win a war by being nice. You know, you just don't. Do you know how World War II ended? Because they dropped a bomb and they said, we're not playing nice anymore. We're going to knock you on your ass. There's going to be some people gone. That's it. There's going to be some dead bodies. We don't want dead bodies, but guess what? That's what happened. The war ended. And right now we're trying to play nice. And a lot of people don't even want to step on the battlefield. I step on the battlefield every day. And people say, Dave, thank you so much for what you do. I look around and I go, sure wish I had more people here. That's what I do. So if you're someone, and look, I know this. The people on our side, they talk about how easily offended the other side is. But do you know how many people are easily offended on our side? I don't like what you're saying, Dave. It's not nice. You know, it's really funny. Woman I was talking to last night, she said, you're so much nicer when you're not doing your show. And I said, that's because I have a job to do. And I'm always going to do my job. You just saw what happened when some patriot tried to stand up. We must play their game, war as a verb. You know what, Linda? You're right. You know what? we have found that even when we play nice, that the left gets involved. Antifa got involved. They're the ones that did it all, and we got the blame. So guess what? If we're going to get the blame, this works perfect in what I say. If we're going to get the blame, then you know what we need to do? Go ahead and do it. I know people don't want to hear that. But, this goes back to my sports analogy. For any of you people that played sports that were a dominant player, somebody went out there, didn't go through the motions. I did that. I was a good player, but I wasn't good enough. And when I say I wasn't good enough, until somebody came to me and said, you play the game that they're allowing to play. That's exactly what you do. And I was like, what? And because I would go, let's talk about basketball. I play basketball. I'm going to give you a couple analogies here. Some of you people heard it. I really don't care. You're going to hear it again. But I would, you get 5 fouls. I may get 1. By the time I learn how to play harder, I may get 3 or 4. Sometimes I fouled out, not very often. I played differently. And sometimes it was a little bit dirty. I mean, I didn't knock anybody upside the head, but, I did my best to win. Because winning is everything. In hockey, I used to coach hockey. And the young men that worked for me, the young men that played for me were really, they're great kids. And they want to retaliate. And I'd say, whoa, don't retaliate. And they go, what? I said, retaliate on your terms. That's how you win the war. The people that went in there, into the Capitol, I actually applaud them. They did. I was mad because I wasn't there. I'll be honest, because I am not going to play fair anymore. There was nothing we could do. We were going to get the blame no matter what. Don't you get it? No, I'm not into tearing things up, and that wasn't the point. But that's our house, and if you notice, that's not our house anymore. Our house is being guarded by our own citizens. They have thousands and thousands of troops there. I keep looking at Venezuela. But you know what? Here's the problem. We have to teach those troops whose side they're really on. Do you realize there's spies in every place you go? Right now, there's spies in real Republicans. Trust me on this. I know there's some people in there. People go, we got to get them out of there. They're spies for a reason. Because that way they can get the information. That's what it's all about. I got grief the other day for watching 60 Minutes. Because I concentrate on the enemy. The enemy is who we are beating. And if people don't have guts enough to sit there and watch 30 minutes, whatever it was, of 60 Minutes of people who are dead set against us that want us to lose, something that you can actually learn from, and you got the stupidity to sit there and say, you shouldn't be watching that. Just like I said to somebody earlier, you're not my mama. And I'm a warrior beyond most. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I will do whatever it takes. And that's what we have to do. So, but you know what here happens? Like when I do my show, a lot of people get it. They really do get it. And they're saying, you're right, we got to do this. But a lot of people say, you know what, though? I think I'll go on here. I want to listen to somebody that's a little bit nicer because that feels so much better. Oh, my God, it feels so much. They're not so hateful. If that's you really, you are a Democrat. And you think you're a Republican. And I'm going to explain Republican because I realize people don't like that word a lot lately, and I totally understand that. Do you know why? People don't like the word? Because of what establishment Republicans have done. Deep down, most of us know who we are. Well, Linda, have you ever fought a war? Let me tell you something. When you ever watch professional football, I don't watch it right now. They have plans. And guess what? They have plans and they want to know what the enemy is doing. Just like in any other war. You have to know. You have to know. It's the will, it's legal, it's right. Sounds wonderful in fantasy land. Learn what a war is. And if people can't handle it, we're never going to win. Do you actually think the left plays fair? Oh, but we're going to play fair. There are no rules. Don't you get the rule? Here's the rules. Here's the rules right now. Because if people don't understand the rules, we can't win. The rules are the left can do whatever they want. And it doesn't here. The left can do whatever they want, and the media is going to be kind to them. It doesn't matter what the right does. Because they're still, no matter what, they're going to nail you to the cross and say you're horrible people. Do you realize everybody watching this show right now is a racist, is a white supremacist, according to the media, according to establishment Republicans? That's what they're doing. That's what they are. See that guy back there? Just 1 month. When he comes back on, I'll say, George Carlin, he understood. But get down to it. The rules are, it's against us. And here's the problem. We don't have enough fighters. First of all, you know what our first rule should be is get involved and do something. Okay, well, sometimes I can't understand what you're saying, but okay, I'm saying what you are. Okay, you get it then. All right, you get it. I thought you were saying be nice. I'm telling you right now, if you were ever an athlete and you learned how to really play the game harder than anybody else, you did what it took to win. If you are into being nicey nice and it's like, oh, gee whiz, we don't. You got Antifa who want to beat the hell out of you. How many of you people out there were so happy the Proud Boys were there to go beat the hell out of Antifa? Let me tell you right now, I'm in line with those people. I want to beat the hell out of the opposition. I'm not going to play nice with them anymore. They're not playing nice with us. We have to do what it takes. This is a war. And if anyone thinks it's anything different, they don't know. Exactly. We're on the same team. I got you now. Nice get you nowhere. That's right. But we have so many people. It's like, but we don't do those things. And you know what? Guess what the liberals are saying? We can do anything they want because they're not willing to do anything to us. We are so easy to figure out. I'm going to go back to my hockey analogy. When I used to coach hockey and somebody would knock the crap out of one of our players, whatever it was, and the ref didn't see it, my players would want to retaliate, and I said, no. Why? Because the ref is watching then. You retaliate when the ref isn't watching and when your opposition isn't watching. Then you go over, if you see nobody sees them, then you go over and get them back. That's how you do it. And if you don't like that, then you don't know how to win. You don't know how to win. And guess what? The left knows I'm right. Because that's how they play the game. And guess what? That made me a much better player. That made my players much better. Because they understood, and we became a much better team. Were they dirty? No. They didn't start the fight, but let me tell you right now, they finished it. And that's what it's all about. If we can't finish the fight that they've started, we deserve to lose. We really do. It's so hard sometimes. It really is, because everybody wants to be nice. Oh, I just, look, the nice people can sit back and do other things. But there's some of us out there that understands that this is a war. Not everybody can be a soldier. I get that. But you sure as hell better back us up. You're right. I'm I'm glad you brought that up. Frosty Knight says, we can forcibly arrest them. That's the possible. Let me tell you something right now. There were over 1 million people in Washington, D.C. If every person went to that Capitol, moved people out of the way and walked in, there wasn't a damn thing they could have done. Nothing. There's 74 million of us. 75 million, whatever. You telling me that you know what? We have 74 million wusses. That's what we have. Grow a couple. I mean, we got males out there. I don't call them men. We got males out there saying, oh, I got to put my mask on because I don't want to confront anybody. Oh, good God. And these are people that I like, and I just, and if they're watching the show and you get mad at me, I really don't care. Stop being a wuss. Be a man. Grow a couple. Just because you go on Facebook and say these things, and let me tell you, I lose a lot of friends this way. I really don't care. I'm just trying to say, stop being a wuss. Every damn person watching this show. You know, my friend Linda, she's on a different format right now because she's kicked off of Facebook. She went to one of the phone stores, Verizon, I guess it was, and they said, you got to put a mask on. And she was like, I ain't doing it. And she didn't do it. And she had some young man, half her age, say, I'm not going to tell you again. Let me tell you something about her. She's lucky she didn't knock the crap out of him because she doesn't put up with her crap. I love her so much for that reason. She doesn't put up with it. Because she, so where is everybody else? Oh, but if I go to this door, on the door it says you have to wear a mask. They all say that because they have to cover their asses. Every place we went into except for the one hotel didn't say a word. And if they did, we would have walked out. We would have said, well, you're going to lose our business and that's fine. I don't give a damn if there's nothing really I can think of I got to have. I went to my doctors. Let me tell you right now, this is where people better grow a couple. I went to my doctor. I get in the front door and there's 2 receptionists there. And this is 3-4 months ago. And they said, sir, you're going to have to put a mask on. I said, you know what? There's other doctors out there. That's fine. I'll go somewhere else. But what do we get? Oh, I love my doctor. Too bad. They know my number. So anyway, before she said, hold on. Didn't want to have me leave. So they send me to a different room as though I was getting scolded. I was laughing inside. So I go sit down. The first gal that comes in, checks my blood pressure, finds out it's high like usual because I do this crap. And then the nurse practitioner came in because the doctor wasn't there. She comes in and she goes, you really scared our staff. And I said, how would I do that? Because you're not wearing a mask. And I said, they're not healthy. Oh, no, you're doing it to protect others. I said, it doesn't work. I don't want to hear it. And in fact, I'll tell you what, I'll gladly leave in a second. You're not going to sit there and lecture me on, I came here for another reason. If you're not going to do it, I'll get the hell out of here. Let me tell you what happened. She got to business. She shut her mouth and got to business. Because I didn't sit there and take her crap. It's a doctor. I don't care. She probably voted for Biden. Guess what? I showed her I had guts. Why can't everybody else do it? Walk in the store. They say something. Thank you. A lot of them. When I go to Sam sometimes. Sir, would you like a mask? No, thank you. They look at me like, okay. And I'm still waiting, by the way. I guess I intimidate people. I'm still waiting for some do-gooder to come to me and say, sir, you need to put a mask on. Well, it's not going to happen. You need, and I've got the greatest response. If somebody says, why aren't you wearing a mask? It's the best response is because I'm not as ugly as you are. And I've used that. I've only been confronted a couple times, and I kind of laugh, and they go, well, who cares? You're the one with the problem. I don't give a damn. It comes to a point you got to stop giving a damn what other people think. There is a beauty to getting older. Charlie will attest to this. Anybody over 50 will know this. Anybody over 60 will guarantee it. And anybody, I don't know, well, I know some people over 70, they will tell you right now they really don't give a damn what anybody else thinks because they spent their life concerned about what everybody else thinks. So how many of you people disagree with me on that? You know, here. You're in a war, and the enemy, say you're fighting the Chinese, and the Chinese say, well, you can't fight us unless you wear a mask. Do you know how many people in our side is going to go, oh, well, we don't want to offend them? I'm serious. It's insane. It really is. Oh, good God. I got to take a break. I'm gonna play a little, let me see, where is it here? I'm going to play good old, by the way, you can call in, but not till after I come back, but play a little Lee Greenwood here. So let's get started. Let me do this. Sometimes we have to take a break. All righty, we'll be back in a few.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Alrighty, we're back here at Super Dave Show. If that doesn't make you just cringe, you really aren't an American. You are not an American. That just means you're going through the motions. That's all you're doing. And I don't know about you folks. I'm tired of watching my country go down. I'm tired of watching us lose, because that's what the 75 million people, most have become cowards and losers. But I voted for Trump. That's all they did. And if you think one action makes you a hero like that, something so simple, but when I look at the legislatures when I look at look at Georgia and some of the other ones, some of the look at Pennsylvania. They needed more people to stand up there. We had all this voter fraud throughout everything. And by the way, if I get knocked off of Facebook, you'll have to go to a different format. You can go to my website, superdaveshow.com, and you'll see like a TV there, and I put it in there, and you can click it, and it goes to DLive, so you can go on there. But there's other formats, and we're gonna have to find them because you know what? Facebook doesn't want us there, and that's fine. In the meantime, let me tell you right now. In the meantime, if this is why I just laugh at people, and even some of my good friends. They go on there and they think they can tell other people off, and that's it, to say things that's going to piss off Facebook. And then they're off Facebook, and they know it, and they get so emotional. It's like, you know what? You're playing right into their hands. I've done it myself. It's easy to do, especially these days. But we can fix those things. We can win. We have enough people to do it. We just have to change our stripes. That's exactly what we got to do. Because until we do, we're going to continue to lose. And I don't know about you, I hate losing. I do. And like I said, we'd have 1 million people there. If we would have all walked there, we would have been blamed either way. You know what? It was mainly all done before the Trump people even got there. I got to read this here. Your show could be part of the beginning. As a manager myself for 40 years, I get so angry at stupid stuff that's not a priority. We keep tripping over dollars to pick up pennies. Stupid. I fight for the Angel families and patriots like Saucier, who was thrown in prison for a photo of his sub. That's what's been done to us in the past. And it's right. I'm tired of people saying, I support our military. That support them domestically. They're somewhere else supporting us. Support ourselves here. Good God. You're right. That's a great point. We have to have we have to be real Americans with the Trump mentality. We had a man who fought and fought and fought. And let's say there's 75 million people that voted for him. I don't know. 74,998,000 of them, not less than that, I guess, sat by and watched. Really? People were afraid to go into the Capitol. That's our building. And what happens? The left outwitted us again. They did. You know what they should have done? If they really had done the strategy, because this is why strategy is so important. If they really done it, they should have gone ahead and had the cameras set up to show what they were doing and say, we got them at what they were doing. We were surprised by what they were doing. We really were. The Trump supporters were. I realize there may be other stuff going on. We don't know. We don't know. But as it goes, we were fooled into. We were, and we can do that. If you're going to win a war, you have to be smart. You have to do it, and you have to be a fighter. And like I said, not all 75 million people are fighters. I like 75 million better, including the kids. There were a lot of kids that were on our side. Our kids didn't vote. Theirs did. But you know what? When you go to the polls, you don't hear something for you. And Linda Van. I'll say Linda Van. She will tell you all these people. Now, you know what? It was really frustrating for me. Here I am, working the polls. A lot of people knew me. I've been on TV, and I had my picture in the paper, no big deal. And people would walk up, and they were Republicans. And I would tell them up front, it's like, hey, this is a no-mask county. Well, I don't want to cause any problems. You're not. And they put their mask on like a good little doobie. Trump supporters are so dubious. Oh my goodness. It's to a fault. It really is. If we, and Linda, you get it, Linda. If we don't understand, yeah, the policeman killed was a huge Trump supporter. You see, I'm not saying we go out and kill people, but stuff happens. I'll leave it at that. You know, when the Proud Boys, here's the issue, and not intentionally, that was intentional. That's not who we are. I get that. But you know something? The left gets away with it. They get away with it. What do we do with that? We certainly don't just let it go, do we? Apparently we do. Do you know how many of these people are not even prosecuted? Because we have Soros-type prosecutors. We need, the reason we need what we need is because we need every damn Trump supporter, well, real Republican. I'm going to say real Republican because that's where we are right now. And we're all Trump supporters. But we need every damn one of them. No. We need all of you to do something. Well, I have to work. I have to do this. I gotta clean my mother's. No, I gotta clean my daughter's basement. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. You know ones that get me? I mean, nobody has to watch my show. I really don't care. If you watch it, I think you're smart. I have a lot of smart people here. But you know something? A lot of people say, well, I really, it's so negative. You know why it's negative? Because I got a mirror here. And I'm showing everybody who you are. Now, those of you that know that you fight hard, Linda Van, some of the other ones, looks like Linda, some of you guys understand this. And you don't mind what I'm saying because you agree with me. Yes, I saw that. Yeah, that's a great story. Did you see the gym owner who was, wait a minute, where's that? Oh, that were robbed of $150,000 stolen by the government. They took it out of his account. Can you believe it? They took it out of his account. Keith Missy says, hey, all. Ordering signs soon for Perry County Health Board. I can get up to $1,000 total for filing. For filing. That means MEC. You don't want to do that. I want to be conservative and only get 50 to 100 signs to be good steward. If you're hard-earned money, you could donate up to $349. And actually, what we want to do is to help out with this, and that will help Keith out a lot. Now, you may not think it's much, but it's getting us on there. And Keith, good for you. And our goal eventually is that when we finally get the money in, and hopefully we can do this for you, Keith, we finally get people sending us money and eventually have a money taken out every month. When we do that, we can support every person like Keith. He's putting his name out there. We should all be standing up and applauding and say, way to go, Keith. What's a health board? Learn. I had to learn. For some reason, it kind of reminds me of, you're a guy and you're supposed to know how to work on a car automatically because you just have those genes. Doesn't work that way. Well, just like with politics, people think I know all about politics because I woke up and I was born and they say, hey, Dave, you're going to know all about politics. I knew very little about it for years until I got into it. But when I got into it, it's like anything else. I said, I'm going to learn how it really works instead of what the media tells me. And most importantly, instead of what politicians tell me. And after listening and talking to so many politicians that I know, politicians are the best liars money can buy. They are. All of them? No. And like I said, if you're someone that says, oh, well, all politicians are bad, Keith, that means they're talking about you. He's not a politician, but you're going to call him that because he's running for office. It doesn't matter. The man is a good guy. He's one of them out there working hard for real Republicans. And right now, he wouldn't even see how he's put this name out there and stuff. The one thing, and we're going to change some things anyway, but the one thing, when we get this going, Keith wouldn't have to do this. He's got to put up his own money to run for health board. He's already sticking his neck out doing it. Do you really think it's fair for him to put all the money out plus do all the campaigning? I don't. I want him elected. We have people that are going to run for school board and ambulance board and all the other local elections that you don't think anything of. And you know what? Local elections, this is what's really bad. Local elections get about, 8%, 9% of the people bother to show up. So that means even a smaller percentage. I'm talking about the elections we have in April. Even a smaller percentage are making the decisions for everybody. Do you realize that most school boards and the rest of them, they put their budget, they put their tax issues that they're trying to raise their taxes and all that, their bond issues on there. You know when they do it? They do it when nobody's watching. And so the people that really want it, they show up and you almost go, oh, I don't go to that one, And then they go to the assessor, who's a friend of mine, and they go, oh, this is bullshit. Why are my taxes so much higher? Because you weren't paying attention. Well, somebody needs to tell me something. Well, we actually sent you a voter card, and they do that. They send it to you and say, hey, there's an election this day. You look at it and you go, well, I don't know what it is, and you throw it away. Wow, I'm a patriot. I throw it away. I don't even know what's going on. I just let somebody else make my decision. You know what? I vote in every election. I even vote in the ones that don't mean anything. Missouri has this one every 4 years, even though we elect people and nominate people by the caucus system, they still have a vote, which is ridiculous, and they charge you for it. They charge us for the elections. Guess what? Those school districts and the school districts especially are saying. They're saying the legislature is, some of the people, not many of them, but some of the people are wanting to put those same school board elections and those bond issues and tax issues on the November ballot. And guess what those people that want all those taxes, higher taxes, those are liberals, by the way, want the higher taxes. They're upset. You know why? Because they realize that when people show up to vote, they don't like to vote for higher taxes. So they always have the tax issues when you're not watching, when you don't care. That's when they have them. Am I saying this right? It's really funny because I know Doc Neely watches sometimes, and he knows I'm right. He always says, Dave, you're nailing it. That's why we're good friends. But people aren't watching, so when they want to change that, all the school districts say, no, we don't want to do that. We like it when we sneak taxes by you guys. When I was growing up, the tax rate that we paid was 3%. Do you know in some areas it's 10%? And do you know why? Let me tell you why it's 10%. Let me see. We have, you ever drive down the street and you see the new and the awesome ambulance centers and the fire stations with all the brand new equipment and the latest and the sculpted lawns, all that stuff. By the way, they don't even mow their lawns. Somebody else does. Take care, Linda. But that's what they do. So they get these big buildings and people go, well, we got to have a fire department. They don't even fight fires anymore, hardly. Yeah, they go out sometimes. They fight little fires. I'm sorry. So they have these ambulance boards and they have these fire boards. And guess how they're stacked? The unions, they get in there and they stack their own fire boards and ambulance boards. Yes. And they say, we're going to do one thing. We're going to go ahead and make sure that the people are stupid enough to vote for more money. Almost every election, they're asking for more money. And I've already said in the Rock Fire District, they got another, because the people just voted for it. It just blows me away. They got another one. They got another increase. People voted for it. And what did they do with it? They went out and bought bulletproof vest for the firemen. Yeah. Bulletproof vest. Wow. Sounds like a really good move, doesn't it? How many of you people like that idea? How do you like it? And all the other stuff they buy. Oh, they buy the newest and greatest, and they go to, when if you're working at a place, you work at a private enterprise, all right? If you want lunch, what do? You get in your car and you go. You don't say, hey, can I use the company truck? No. Oh, yeah, that's good. Water park, splash pads, you got it. Double wide. They got it all there. Oh, yes, it's really cool. They spend more time going to the schools and all that stuff. So everybody likes firemen. Then then the kids go home and they go, whatever you do, make sure you vote for those firemen because they're nice guys. This is nothing against firemen. It's just ridiculous that we're doing this to ourselves. That's what we do. We keep raising taxes and that's it. This is not to knock these people. It's a knock. I'm knocking the very people who don't show up at the polls, and then the taxes go up. You can't figure out. So how does it go from 3% when I was growing up to 10% now? And I'll even have somebody say, well, ours isn't 10%. Ours is only 9%. Wow, get excited about that one. How do you like it? You go buy a new car. This is in Missouri. You go buy a new car. You pay $30,000 for it. And you think, wow, I put down a $3,000 down payment. And then you go to get your plates. All of a sudden, your down payment, your taxes are more than your down payment. Like, holy crap, I had to pay another $3,000, whatever it is, for your taxes. You put out $6,000, you haven't driven out of the showroom yet. That's really what you're doing. Oh, you drove it home. Oh, but here's my favorite. But I get a free 30 days. Right. And you're doing the right thing. You go out and get your license plates, and you spend all that money, and then you drive around. And Wendy and I saw this the other day. On the license plate, this happens all the time. They have license plates out there, and they'll go ahead, and they'll have the license plates that say, it'll have expiration date, and the expiration date's 2 years old. Have you ever? And then what do? They pull you over. Because your plate is expired. Okay, fine. But if it's a temporary tag, they don't even pull them over. What's that all about? I've seen it. But what we saw the other day, it was a license plate, and it said, "License applied for" on the back. That's all you got. That's all they did. God knows they look dirty. So they've had it for a while. I don't know. They get pulled over. I don't know. I really don't know, because the police are, and this is where we've all been fooled. The police are more interested in the fact that you're driving down the highway where the speed limit is 70 and you're doing 75, and you've got the other little Nazis saying, see, I'm doing 70 and they're doing 75. Our cars are designed to do a lot faster, by the way, but no, for some reason, we all believe that if you go over 70 miles an hour, that you're driving dangerous. Really? Let me see. Driving down the road, and this is my favorite one. Here, I'll do it right here. Two hands on their phone, and they're over there concerned about me doing 80 and a 70, and this clown is in left lane, or the other one is. They got the phone next to them, and they're like, they look like they're in La La Land, and they're in the left lane, they're blocking the lane. Obviously, I'm a fast driver, but they're blocking the lane, they're going, oh, I didn't realize why. They don't even know where they are. Oh, my God, I passed my exit 3 exits ago. Happens all the time. Running trails, green spaces, marble landscape. Yeah, you're right. I'm glad you said that. I didn't see the rest of yours because they're taking your tax money And there are a select group of people which want running trails and the rest of it. Great. That's what they're doing with your money. It's for every, I don't know. I don't get it. The landscaping, you're right. I mean, some of these these trails, it used to be just asphalt. They spent a ton of money off 55 over there, and it cost them a fortune. Oh, wait, you're right. At the end of the month, they do their best to make their quota of tickets. Yeah. Sir, you were doing 75 on a 70. Do you know how dangerous that is? And it's like, no, I wouldn't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know how dangerous it is. That's what they're doing. And this is my favorite one. This happened to me a long time ago. I was in a truck, a big appliance moving truck. And I'm driving on the road, and it's a long stretch. There's nobody around. And I apparently passed a sign, didn't even see it. I'm doing 30 miles an hour going up, realizing, that who knows what the hell's going on. And I get to the top of the hill. There's a cop there with a radar gun. Pulls me over, and I said, what's the problem? Now, there was nobody on either side. This was an official speed trap. I was livid. Didn't you see that sign back there? And I said, yeah, I thought it said 30. It's 20. He proceeds to write me a ticket. This is what we want our police officers to do? Is that really what we want them to do? There was nothing around. It was an official speed trap. And I've actually had city officials defend that and say, well, we got to get our money somewhere. Really? I will say one thing. They did pass some laws in Missouri in the last few years that were good, because there were some municipalities, and some of you know of one. I mean, there used to be all kinds of them, where basically all the receipts they got were from people driving through. So I remember you guys heard of Bella Villa and St. George, and we can name a bunch of them. Times Beach, we used to be one of them. They'd have somebody out there to find any infraction they could. Any infraction. And let me tell you something. Now that they got licensed readers, it's automatic. I remember on a weekend, I think it was a Thursday or Friday, we had one of my vehicles, the engine died. So I went out and bought another vehicle right away. Not Facebook, but the other one. I can't think of offhand. I bought it on that, and I went ahead and I took the plates off because we were going to get the plates that week. We're going through Bella Villa. I wasn't. She was going through Bella Villa, and I'll be damned if she calls me and she goes, I just got 3 tickets. I go, why? Well, we didn't have the proper plate, the inspection, and something else that was on our other car. And I said, did you explain that our car just broke down? She said, yeah. And guess what? $300 that we had to pay this garbage to a municipality that wasn't big enough for anything. But we're paying everybody's taxes, what we're doing. Is that really what you want to do to your fellow citizens? So guess what? I made sure we never went through there, or if we did, we never ever patronized any business in there. And that's how we did it. And the businesses, I don't know if they liked it or not, but I did talk to one of them one day, and he said, it's awful. He said, people stopped coming. I said, I'm one of them. He said, I don't blame you. He says, it's ridiculous. But the citizens there were so blockheaded, they thought that, well, we won't have to pay any tax money. We'll steal it from others. Does that sound familiar? We'll steal it from others. They might as well have been getting a welfare check is what it amounted to, because that's what they did. And they paid their police, and they had awards for these cops and everything. That was Bella Villa, yes. Now, they passed a law saying only so many of your ticket revenue can go towards the operation of your municipality or city, whatever. They finally did pass that. Politicians remind me of some doctors. They sell you a bill of goods, but don't tell you the side effects of the meds, once including death. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. You go to the doctor, and he says, all right, I've figured out what's wrong with you, I think. It's an opinion. So you go there, I figure out what's wrong with you. I'm going to prescribe this medicine to you. It's okay, fine. Let's say you don't have insurance. That's even better. You don't have insurance. You pay the doctor. He's wrong in the diagnosis. Or he gave you something that wasn't working. So let's say you paid $150 for your pharmacy, for your drugs, and you go back to him and you say, that doesn't work. You make another appointment with him and go, well, we got to charge you again. What? You weren't right the first time. This is how it works. So he says, well, let me give you something else. He prescribes something else. Take that stuff you have, what you got, and throw it away. Well, I just spent $150 on it. Well, so you buy another prescription, and it's $175. Let's pray to God it works, right? The doctor gets paid again. The pharmacy gets paid again. Now, lawyers, same thing. Same thing. Lawyers, same way. Well, I did my best for your case. If you'd like to go ahead, we can appeal it, even though I did a crappy job to begin with. It's going to cost you this much money. Or I lost my case. Well, it's going to cost you this much money. But you didn't do a good job the first time. Yeah, but I do really well on appeals. The judge was wrong, and we're going to appeal it. Just pay me and we'll figure it out. Here's one for you. You'll like this even better. You're driving down the road and you're speeding, okay? Now, if you go to the court, they're going to charge you for speeding and court costs. You can't get out of it. However, if you get an attorney, the attorney has the magic dust. The attorney has the magic dust that says, well, I talked to the prosecutor, and you are going to be charged for speeding, but you won't get any points or anything. You won't have speeding. I had it knocked down to loud mufflers. You ever hear that one? You get it down to loud mufflers. Oh, really? Loud mufflers. Okay, fine. So what do? You pay the lawyer. You pay the extra amount of money the courts want. And so you're paying a lot of money, but your key is you don't get points, therefore your insurance goes up. That's the little thing they dangle out in front of you. Your insurance doesn't go up. That's how it works. You talk about a scam. The lawyers have their own scam. By the way, if you're running for judge, guess who the judges can get money from for donations? From lawyers. You don't think that doesn't go a long ways? Of course it does. I mean, the system is against us and we allow this to happen. But how do we allow this to happen? Because we have state representatives. We have local people. All that stuff goes on because they are scamming against you. And what are we doing? We have become a bunch of victims. We Trump supporters are victims. I don't like what they did. Well, what are you going to do about it? Here's bottom line. No matter what happened in the voting, what are you going to do about it? Well, I'm going to be mad, and I'm just not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Guess what the opposition's saying? This is great. We screw them, and then they run away. Well, I have this personality flaw. When I get screwed, when somebody's cheating me, do something like that, my personality flaw is I'm going to get them back. It depends on what it is, too, though. But what most conservatives do, what most people like us do, we go, not me, I'm not normal. But, most people go, I just won't go back. I do that sometimes. It's not worth it. But you know what? When I know I got royally screwed, like in the elections and all that, we should all be putting our money where our mouth is. We should all be saying, we cannot let this happen again. Because no matter what, we have to make sure that when we are voting for a Republican in Georgia who screwed the Republican voters, but it can happen anywhere. Happens everywhere. We vote for Republicans who are screwing us left and right. Why? Because they're phony Republicans. They're not really Republicans. They're phonies. They're not real Republicans. And if we don't elect real Republicans, we're not going to win anything. Or we're going to be the same place. And I don't know about you people. I don't want to be in the same place. I really don't. Where was it? Somebody else had a thought here I want to say real quick here. But, look, this is political science. You're learning, this is your political science course. And, okay, everybody, here's the test. What is the most important election? The primary. Trust me, it's a primary. It's not the general election. It's the primary. Because if you're a Republican, 99% of them are going to go to the polls and they're going to say, I'm going to vote for the Republican. But when you have your chance to get rid of you talk about term limits, that's where you take care of term limits. I understand term limits all the way. I do. But we have term limits. And what do? We bitch and moan about term limits. Well, I think we need term limits. This is wrong. You have term limits. It's called elections. And if every person watching this show right now would start thinking, we have a term limit. If we don't like them there, let's not worry about that. I mean, think about this. You're asking the very legislators to pass something they're not going to pass. You remember the Republican, what they call it back then? Contract with America. Remember that back in the 90s? It was very popular. And one of the things on the contract, which didn't get passed, even though we elected all these people, was term limits. Remember that? They used you and they said, if you elect us, we're going to make sure there's term limits. What did they do? The scummy politicians, there's a lot of them, the ones that were safe in the district because they have more dumbasses than the other one, what did they do? They kept voting the same one in, even though they said they give term limits, and they said, well, it's all right. We like him anyway, whatever. That's what they did. So, there you go. They didn't come through with their promise. You know the most successful politician in my lifetime is? Donald Trump. He came through with every promise that he gave us. He did, every one of them. Every one of them. I know it's my crooked hat here. I need to fix that. Anyway. It's on this side? Yeah, it's on this side. Anyway. You don't go to Belleville anymore? That's what I'm saying. Don't do it. But let's get back to business here. All right, real Republicans, and I gave my address earlier. I am going to delete it at the end of the show, just so you know. So if you want it, you go ahead and write it down. And if the spies want it, that's fine. I have some really nice guns at my house. I would love to use them. It's been a while. You can shooting ranges. Oops. But you shouldn't shoot at them because they came in. Right. You come in my house, I guarantee you better be ready because I'm not going to come at you with a pea shooter. Now a lot of people talk big like that. I go out and do it myself. I don't really care. I really don't care. So anyway, I want to get to something I was looking at earlier here. By the way, if you have media, and I think Charlie brought one up earlier, please send it to me so I can put it on there on the website. Please do. RealRepublicans.net. RealRepublicans.net. Net. Remember that. I even found myself typing in RealRepublicans.com. It's not. It's net. It's net. So it is what it is. But did you see? Let me find this real quick. Now remember, this year, January 6th, according to the media, was the worst assault ever by people. Yes, it was. But unfortunately, let me see if we have something that's a little different here. If you haven't seen this here. All right. In 2017, let me bring this up real quick here. In 2017, we had, bring this down here, we had this.
What was the
So, back in 2016, after the election, some friends of mine planned this deplorable to celebrate Trump's victory during the inauguration. The left heard about it. Of course, they were going to protest it. We had some threats of violence. We had... What happened outside there? Yeah, well, outside all hell broke loose.
I was actually the creator of the Deplorable Ball and worked with MAGA 3X and Citizens for Trump throughout the campaign. And I said, hey, we need to have a ball, just somewhere everybody can come, and have a good time.
You saw people being hit with D-cell batteries?
D-cell batteries, that's right. We saw people being hit, people pelted. Multiple D-cell batteries were being thrown at people.
These people are not only Nazi sympathizers, these people embrace what the Nazis stood for. These people are racist to a degree that some of us didn't even know was possible in this day and age.
I saw them throwing things at the police. A few of them tried to talk to me and ask me like why I was there because I'm black and I support Trump, and they said that I was like insane. They want to push their narrative that Trump is a racist, that that all Trump supporters are white, uneducated people, and they're racist. You know what I mean?
These people should be referred to as neo-Nazis, as fascists, as the legitimate scum they are, so they can be wiped from this country, and we can be actually free. I'm with Disrupt J20, which is the organization that is working with a lot of affinity groups to shut this inauguration down.
Violent, scary, and it was very insulting, the things they were saying to us. That we were fascist, we were racist, we were gay, we were anti-gay. Just a lot of, it was everything they said we were, they are. They were the most hateful people I've ever seen in my life. It was sad.
And this had gone on the whole day, another story the media will never report on, but the left was blocking entrances to Trump inauguration. The left was threatening people as they were going into the Trump inauguration. They're blocking entrances to the inaugural. So I put 2 videos up on YouTube in my account, and I'll keep loading stuff, but it's going to be, I suspect a lot of violence. They're very organized, and they're out in force. Hey guys, how's it going? Is there a lot planned today?
Yeah.
You know, we saw like a big group down there. You're Tig.
Yeah.
What's up? You guys gonna cause some mayhem?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Our friends from Code Pink, the communists who were silent for 8 years, they pretend they're anti-war. But they actually are just anti-America, anti-capitalism, anti-Christian, anti-Jew.
My name's Ty Berry. I'm from Code Pink. We're here in Washington, D.C. to just say no to Trump. We blocked this street because we feel like we have the right to tell them not to go into our city, D.C., and spout their hatred and racism.
We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible.
There you go, my friends. That's just a part of it. That's just go to show you what we're up against. You know, and people want to play nice with these people. I don't. I don't want to play nice with them. I want to do what it takes to win. And if you think you can play nice with these people, you're wrong. Now, you see the difference? See, they're out there, and they're. I didn't see that when I was there, but obviously it was there. It was a different part. But that's what we had to put up with in 2017 for the inauguration. That was in different areas. That was a different party. Luckily, they didn't. I was at a different party, and it was just we didn't have the. We actually had the vagina hats walking by us. That's what we had. But these are orchestrated. Most of these people, you have all these different groups there, and they're there to go after them. We got to play hardball. We cannot sit there and just say we're gonna nice them through this. This is a war. That jackass that kept saying they're Nazis, I take that personally. What about the black gentleman with the Make America Great hat? What about him? He's not even being considered. I mean, it's just sickening to watch this garbage. It really is. And when we allow this stuff to happen, I'm sorry. It's crazy. It really is. How we can lie that, how we can do that, I have no idea. Anyway, we have to know this is a war, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna have to use different techniques. It doesn't mean we use theirs. See, but we have to do it with surprises. And the biggest thing we can do, honestly, and I use this all the time, there are 75 million of us. I don't care if they have 2,000 of them. If we have 1 million like we did last a week ago Wednesday, if we had 1 million, they don't have a fighting chance. We're with them. And guess what? As soon as they hit us, that's when we just knock the hell out of them and do what it takes to win. I am sick of people being intimidated. We cannot be a bunch of pussies out there. We can't do it. I know you may not like what I just said. I don't care. Because if you think it's about, we're not going to do, we don't have to do what they do. But we better start, the things that you taught your kids, you better start doing. Show up. Don't start the fight. But you sure as hell better finish it. We can do this. But if we think we're going to do it by playing nice and the rest of it, we can do it all the other ways. All the other ways. And we're not rude and we're not that. We aren't that. But you know something? When you show up in numbers, it makes a difference. When you go, I'll tell you what, I've been at council meetings, and when they were trying to push this PDMP crap, we had a few people, and we were right. But the idiots, some established Republican who was running the damn county at the time, who's now the county clerk, counting votes, he's a scumbag, he's a liar, he's a cheat. He went out of his way to make sure he worked with the very liberals he is, and he worked with them to make sure they fought us on that. And what did he do? He ended up going to the health department. We won at the level we were on. That was the county council level, but we lost because he went to the health department and they did it on their own because they had liberals on there, and he was working with the liberals. I don't know about you. I have a very serious problem with people who work with them. I do. They're not our friends. They're our enemies. And I don't give a damn if they got the Republican name next to it. Get over it. If somebody says a Republican, I'm to a point, prove it. Just because that ours, are you going to tell me Lindsey Graham is really Republican? Hell no. You really, now he's sounding tough. You notice that? Well, they shouldn't do this. Now it's all theater anyway. It's all theater because what they're doing is they're saying, well, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. We shouldn't do that to the president, because even though I was against him and the rest of it, right now I got to save my political ass, which is what he's doing. Then what he can do is the next election he turns around and he says, I didn't vote to impeach the president. These are the things they use. I didn't vote to impeach the president. I voted to name the highway after the president. These are the things that they use to coax your vote because you're not paying attention, or you think, that's you don't vote for people for crap like that. You don't do it. You vote for people because in the legislature, they're voting the right way, not because of the things they say. If you're voting for, and this is for some of my political friends, I guess, that voted for the woman for governor because she said great things, you people need a brain change or something like that. I'm sorry. I really don't want to be like that. By the way, she's still running for governor. She wants to be governor again. Somebody else said that to me. I said, yeah, I think she should run for governor. He said, you're right. Because she knows that there's so many people and they're going to vote for her. They don't care about their history. I care about their history. I'm not talking 20 years ago. I'm talking about recently. When Doc Neely was on there, and look, this isn't, I'm not worried about any of that stuff. You know what? And what I'm talking about, the logic of the people that go in there that say they're Republican, they walk in the voting booth, and they lose their brains, or they didn't show up with them because they go there and they go, well, let me see here. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Oh, I've seen their signs. Oh, those were pretty signs. That actually happens. Yeah, I like that commercial they made. That was really good. Hey, did you know that that's the person that was wanted to make the highway named after Trump? That's my girl. She thinks like we do. Even though they're taking your freedoms and the rest of it, that's how you fight back. The best way you fight back is the legislature, to redo the whole legislature with good people instead of the ones we have. There are people in the legislature right now who are going after Hawley, who are going after, in fact, there's some Republicans doing it, going after Justin Hill, as though they led the charge. They were doing Hawley was doing the constitutional thing, which, of course, to a lot of people doesn't matter anymore. And Justin Hill was doing the right thing by saying, I love our country, I'm there for this. And what happens? He comes home, and you've got people painting streets. You know what I would have in our movement right now? I would say, let's get paint the streets. Well, is that legal? Is that legal? In fact, I'm going to, when I did the rally back March or April last year, whatever it was in Jefferson City, one of the people I was just describing wanted to get her name out there as though she was there for the rally. She had nothing to do with it. She wanted to be a participant, and I was already a Neely guy. It had nothing to do with it. I didn't even make that part of it. Well, I did eventually. But point is that she wanted it for the publicity. That's what she wanted. It's about publicity. If they want publicity, to hell with them. I want their publicity to be there for what they're doing right. Nothing else. That's it. So anyway, I think I'm done for the day. The video I saw, you can see on the grant. I'll get a second. I'm sorry. I'm just so irritated right now with some of this stuff. Gateway Pundit. That's what I meant. Gateway Pundit. You can see it on there. I like that site a lot. And Jim Hoft is a St. Louisan doing a great job, and Gateway Pundit has really become big. But that video is something everybody ought to see. Let me tell you, for homework, what people ought to do. Look at the voter fraud. Look at the Twin Towers. Look at what Jim Hoft did. Look at all those things that would make you mad and say, I can't sit by and do nothing anymore. I have to do something. All right, I gave you, like I said, I'm going to go back to the comments. I am going to delete it. So if you are going to send money, it'd be great. And eventually we'll have everything else going on. I think we'll get a post office box so we can make it a lot safer. So, all right, everybody, let me get everything ready so I can go. But thank you so much for listening, and I will see you.
You can't quit. That's why not? I get fired. You can't fire me. Why not? He quit.
Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
It ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Who's with me? Let's go! Come on! Thanks. I needed that.